bucket every time, or I mean, you're getting it done down
It's that. I don't. I have that mindset, but I mean, I just try to take advantage of mismatches and stuff like that. So, Coach Nikki trusts me down there, so I just try to do my best.
there. Jamie, you kind of set the tone in the second quarter. What opened things up for you there?
Sometimes I just need to see one go in, and then after that, I'm good. Even if I don't see one go in, I still make sure I'm playing harder on defense to get it back. Go give me a layup, a little jump shot, and the first one was a three, so I was just like, I'm gonna hit another one, and I did. So it just went from there.
Jamie, Nikki said you spent a lot of hours with her shooting, in the last couple of weeks. Just do you feel like that paid off in the out there tonight?
Yes, I make sure I get in the gym with her all the time, so I know exactly what she wants from me, and I think it's paying off for real.
Asia, yesterday Nikki said that she feels like one of the identities of this team is going to be that it's unselfish.
Hmm.
I mean, it seemed like when y'all were at your best tonight, it was when you were sharing the ball, getting it out in transition. I mean, you feel like that's going to be a strength.
Oh, for sure. Like I just think the unselfish teams are the winning teams. They're unselfish with the ball and just want to see everybody score and just share the ball. I think that's a good offense to have when you have selfish players on the team, so everybody can eat.
Asia, do you like going coast to coast like that? You did it a couple times tonight. We saw it last year when you came from Missouri.
Yeah, I mean I do.
Oh my gosh, it wasn't that many.
I mean, I do. Whenever I get the chance, I just go. I mean, Coach Niki's always yelling, "Go, go, keep it." So I'm just trying to keep it. But whenever I know I need to give it up, I need to give it up. So
You knocked a few chairs over too.
yeah, I did. My back still hurts.
Flopping. That's what I call it.
Yeah, all right, Jamie.
Asia, I can tell just by this, but how well have you blended in with this team?
I blended in really, really well. I mean, I just think just off the court, I mean, we just blend. We hang out all the time, and I just think that our chemistry is working off the floor. And I don't know. I feel like I was already on the team on my visit, so I mean, it just worked out really well. So.
Jamie, what do y'all, as you transition now to the regular season, what do y'all still need to kind of clean up, work on?
Setting good screens, rebounding the ball, getting out running, and executing plays.
I guess for both of y'all, you didn't have Kate available, you didn't have Dre, but y'all had 52 points in the paint. What does that kind of say about y'all's philosophy going in and the way y'all attack the baskets?
That if one go down, we got another.
Yeah, and I would just say like points in the paint are really important. I mean, Coach Nikki always talks about getting a piece of the paint before we score. So I mean, if we got in the paint, I mean, we gonna score. So.
Thanks, ladies.
All right, then. What we got?
Nikki, you mentioned it yesterday, but obviously you feel like unselfishness should be kind of part of your identity. Did you like what you saw? It seemed like when y'all were at your best was when you were getting it out in transition, sharing the ball.
Absolutely. I think when you play downhill and you put pressure on the rim, things open up on the perimeter. And when we're unselfish, whether we're driving and throwing the drift pass on the opposite side, going one more. We had a couple of really good possessions that will for sure be earmarked in terms of this is what Baylor basketball should look like, where you give up a good shot to get a great shot. Even seeing simple things like I ran a play for Bella late for the three, and she was wide open. We executed. She missed it badly. I said, run it again. And she attacked the basket and got a 3-point play. And so I think it's players understanding how to be in attack mode. I don't know the stats from the second half. In the first half, we shot 63% when we got a paint touch. We were only 33% without one. I mean, it's just so important to what we do that we play downhill. And there are certain actions we run where we're looking for a three and we're running a stagger, and the ball may not touch the paint in those situations, but It's kind of who we are. And no matter how well we shoot the three, I still think a paint touch, whether it's off the dribble, a pass, a cut, is going to be a big part of our identity.
What did you like what you saw from Bella and Bugs out there?
Man, I thought Bugs was good from the beginning. She just really got after it at the defensive end. I thought early, and this is the tough part, and I know this doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but I'll explain it the best I can. You've got versatile kids, but when you get them, you kind of blow their mind when you ask them to play two positions. There's no difference between the 2 and the 3 for us. There's no difference between the 4 and the 5. But the 3 and the 4, it's are you coming off screens or are you setting screens? And so we realized pretty early on, okay, we're going to play Asia at the 4. We're going to play Bella at the 3. We're going to play Bugs at the 4. And then we had a couple injuries. And so all of a sudden yesterday, I'm like, okay, Bella, I need you to play the 4 some now. And, in the first half, she was running the 3 and playing the 4. So she was kind of always in the wrong spot. And I thought in the second half, we kept it super simple. She started to let, kind of the nerves of the game. When she hit the 3 at the end of the quarter, she wasn't supposed to be there. She should have been running right to the front of the rim, but that's the 3 spot. So, I like how Bugs competed. When Bugs was guarding a 6'6" player, she got on top, she battled, she leveraged, got a steal. When we played her guarding the perimeter, she really sat down and defended and made life miserable on their guards. My favorite play of the game was Bugs attacking a 6'6" kid to a jump shot. I was a little surprised by that one. And then I think you saw, Bella is so bouncy. She just can get into a crowd and go up and get it. And she just bounces right back up and puts an offensive rebound back. She's probably our best rebounder in a crowd because she's physically strong and she'll go up and out of her area to go get it. It doesn't show up in the box score, but, Katarina's long and can go in there and tip balls and keep them alive. Bugs goes in and tips balls kind of back to herself. She's not going to necessarily go up in a crowd and grab it with 2 hands, but she's going to tip it to herself and go get it. And so I like their activity. I really thought Bugs played confident from the tip, and I thought Bella got more comfortable as the game went along.
Nikki, you talked about the importance of playing downhill. Asia did that pretty well out in transition. Did you think she found that good balance of assertiveness mixed with facilitating like you talked about?
Yeah, obviously she didn't have any assists. But she also only played 22 minutes, and I think over time against better teams, sometimes playing downhill. She had wide open shooters on her flank. Tonight I'm okay with her just going to the foul line. That I'm never. If we can score 2 feet from the rim, get and ones, get to the foul line, and really put foul pressure on our opponent, and we get in the bonus, everything becomes easier. And so I've been challenging her to not overpass, and she'll find that balance. But I liked how in the second half I challenged her. She didn't have a rebound at halftime. And, when she defensive rebounds, we can get in transition that much faster because I do think over time she's going to be a good decision maker in that space.
What's the status of Victor Dre and Porter? When are they coming back at different times? Or?
Yes. Yeah. We expect hopefully Bickle back in the next few weeks. It's going to be a couple weeks for sure. Could be 3 weeks. Erica's a little day-to-day, as early as a week, as long as 2 weeks potentially. And Dre's an eligibility situation.
Nikki, did it feel like it took maybe that first quarter just to kind of get a little bit of the nerves out or whatever it was?
Yeah, I thought that, they were out rebounding us 15-12 at one point. I thought that, their size, kind of around the rim. We didn't do a great job in some of our switches early in the game. We got a lot better as the game went along. I thought we stayed home and pressured better, which forced them into not as good as shots. Their big kid got in foul trouble, which I think helped. I thought early we were driving. We were trying to avoid contact with her, and so we were missing some layups where it's just like, hey, if you go in and you attack the rim the same way you would if that was a 5'10" player rotating, then you're going to put foul pressure on her. Worst case scenario, she's going to come over and block it. She's probably going to block it out of bounds, and we'll run an out of bounds play. But when you try to lean around her and stretch, you're blocking your own shot, and she's going to get the rebound. And so that's not an easy thing, but I thought we got better at attacking her, getting her in foul trouble, and then you get her out. So, I do. I think we missed some early layups. We missed some early threes. I mean, Jamie missed an early wide-open three pretty badly. And then, every time they went zone, we made a shot, so they really couldn't stay in their zone.
Y'all really dominated in transition, but when you watch Jana out there, her court vision really kind of stood out. But there were some times where she'd be erratic with the ball. Is that kind of one of those things where you live with at times, like a quarterback who throws some interceptions?
Never tired. And we can't even drive up her heart rate when we want to. And she's in the best shape of any kid I've ever coached at any level. And so the team has to run with her. She's going to get it, and she's going to challenge and transition on every possession. And I think it's finding that fine line of playing downhill, when to kick it, when not to get too deep. But statistically in practice, she's one of our best finishers inside of 5 feet. Like, she does a good job when she gets to the front of the rim. Sometimes she just gets too deep, and she's little. And so it's understanding, like, where your bailout is in that scenario, when to just keep it and gnash it out.
Now y'all turn the page and go to the regular season. I mean, did you get a sense of kind of lineups, rotations? And I know that'll change once, some of the injured girls come back.
Yeah, I think that's the tough part. I mean, Caitlin is a huge part of what we do and will do, and I'll certainly count the days till she gets back. Erica's a rebounder, a high energy kid for us, and assuming we can get Dre at some point, she's as good as anybody on our roster. So we certainly want them back, but I think until then it gives other players opportunity. And when they do come back, now hopefully those kids have had opportunity, had some success, and when you need them to step up, they're ready. Versus today, if we've got 3 more players to play, even 2 more players to play, everybody gets a few less minutes. And so because of that, you when you play more minutes, you eventually figure out what you're capable of. And it's hard when you only play a couple minutes or play at the end of the game to really show what you're capable of. And so, I mean, I thought that was the best part about today. Hopefully we didn't have anybody injured. Not quite sure. I realized I played Jaden 28 minutes, but, at the point we got to the fourth quarter and, Bugs had kind of gotten hit and Sarah had gotten hit, I just wasn't going to go back with Asia, Jamie, or Sarah. And Bugs could have played a couple more minutes, but when she went down, I left her alone. So, and they just weren't a team that we were going to be very good if we put Kendra and Kyla in together because we were really staying home because they always played 4 guards on the perimeter.
Thanks, Nikki.
You're welcome.